Lorissa Sweet or Rob Miller? Who is the pro-gun champion at House District 50? We're going to break it down for you guys right now. Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with the Indiana Firearms Coalition. The May 7 primary is almost here, and we're being asked by our members and others in the gun rights community in House District 50, who is the pro-gun champion? It's this area here in northeast Indiana, primarily Wabash and Huntington, a tiny bit of Wells and Miami County. So if you live in these counties, this video is really important for you. And as a gun rights organization, we're always trying to answer your question at election time. And that's not always who is the pro-gun candidate, because let's be honest, in a red state like Indiana, in a Republican Party primary, everyone says they're pro-gun, right? Everyone says, oh yeah, I support gun rights. The question you're asking us, and the question we have worked hard to answer for you, is who's going to fight for the Second Amendment in the Indiana House, Lorissa Sweet or Rob Miller? So we have spent the last couple of weeks surveying and talking to hundreds of candidates all across the state and compiling that survey program results with the records that these candidates have to give you guys this report. And in this district, the contrast, it could not be more clear. We're going to begin with Representative Lorissa Sweet. Now, Lorissa has been in the House for just 2 years. And it's very common when people get into the House to kind of sit down, shut up, let the establishment machine kind of tell them what to do, how to vote, what bills to file. And frankly, it's very frustrating for gun voters. But that's not the case with Representative Lorissa Sweet. Last session, Lorissa was the lead sponsor on House Bill 1117. This is the Indiana Firearms Coalition's Second Amendment Preservation Act. We call it SAPA law for short. What SAPA would do is tell Joe Biden that you can pass whatever crazy gun control you want to pass in Congress. You can mandate it by executive order. You can have the ATF change the NFA Act. But we're not going to let you use Hoosier cops to enforce it here in our state. States all across the country right now are looking at and passing SAPA law to make sure that their cops cannot be used by this White House, this tyrant, to enforce gun control in their state. A lot of people say it's too extreme. We don't think so. And Lorissa Sweet was the lead sponsor on this bill in last year in 2023. And frankly, she didn't even bat an eye. She believes in this issue and she was proud to sponsor it. This year, she was the leading co-sponsor on House Bill 1409. Now, everyone knows, unfortunately, that Indiana has red flag gun seizures. In fact, we were the first Republican state to pass them back in 2005. Then we expanded them even further in 2019. So as other Republican states are stopping, they're blocking, or outright banning red flag gun seizures, here in Indy, our pro-gun majorities continue to expand them. Lorissa co-sponsored HB 1409 this year, which would repeal the entirety of Indiana's red flag gun seizure law. This is what we need. If we keep seeing Republicans get away with voting for red flags, if we never try to repeal red flags, we'll only lose more and more of our gun rights over time. So we're very pleased to announce that she co-sponsored this monumental bill this year here in Indy. She also signed her IFC candidate survey 100%. You see, what we do with this candidate survey program is give the candidates a chance to put their views in writing. Because if a candidate will not put their views in writing, especially right now in an election when they need gun voters the most, it's usually a very bad sign. Lorissa, however, surveyed 100% pro-gun. That means that she opposes the AR-15 ban that we saw introduced here in Indy this session. She opposes the gun registry, the universal background check stuff that is all the rage right now amongst the left and the rhinos on the right. And she proudly supports Indiana's preemption law. We are seeing a growing threat right here in our state capital from anti-gunners on the left and moderate rhinos on the right who want to undo the state's preemption law. Preemption basically says the state decides the gun laws for the entirety of the state of Indiana. If we lose preemption law, that would allow the city of Indianapolis to enact their own gun control, and every other blue city would immediately follow suit. You see, Indy claims that the crime wave here is because of all the loose gun laws. And so if we could only get rid of AR-15s, if we could only repeal constitutional carry, if we could only ban 15, 20, 30-round magazines, it'd all be okay. And if we ever lose preemption law, that's exactly what they'll do. Lorissa Sweet says, hell no, I will stand against that. So all in all, guys, top to bottom, 100% pro-gun survey, leading the fight for gun rights at HB 1117, proudly co-sponsoring pro-gun bills, and opposed to all of the major attacks on our gun rights. Clearly, Lorissa Sweet is, we called her, a fighter when it comes to your Second Amendment freedoms. But that's where the good news comes to a screeching halt. Because when it comes to Rob Miller, we have called Mr. Miller, we have texted Mr. Miller, we have emailed Mr. Miller, done everything we could, and we even mailed Mr. Miller a copy of the Indiana Firearms Coalition candidate survey, and he consistently refuses to tell us or anybody else where he stands on the Second Amendment. After all this happened, I thought, I'm going to go to his website. Maybe he has a detailed position statement on gun rights on his website. It's pretty common. So I go to his website, and there's nothing. There's nothing on the guy's website about where he stands on the Second Amendment. Now, I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised to see the day after this video airs in the district, wouldn't be surprised to see a brand new Second Amendment tab appear on Rob Miller's website. But Miller is 100% hiding his views on the Second Amendment. And all kidding aside, that's no joke. That's no laughing matter, because when a candidate will not tell us where they stand on gun rights during the election, it almost always means they intend to betray, screw over gun owners if they get elected to the House or Senate. So right now, with no survey, we don't know how Rob Miller would vote on an effort to expand the state's red flag gun seizure law. It was introduced again just last year, another expansion of red flags by the rhinos here in Indy. Would Rob Miller vote to expand them? We don't know, because he won't say. Would he support an AR-15 ban or a gun registry? We don't know. He won't answer. And that's a real problem. Again, it ordinarily means he will support that. That's why he won't put his views on the record. Would he allow Indy to gut the state's preemption law and have their own gun control laws in the city? We don't know. Again, he won't tell us. He won't tell us where he is on SEPA, nothing. And more than that, we have had members in the district call him and ask him, as locals, as voters, and he will not come clean on where he stands on the Second Amendment. Guys, at the end of the day, we have good gun laws here in Indiana, but they're not near as good as other red states around us. And we have got to we've got to find champions who will go to Indy and not just fight against the Democrats, but fight against the rhinos who are so often the problem that we have right now with further expansions of our gun rights. In this race, it's pretty clear. Lorissa Sweet is a champion when it comes to our gun rights. Rob Miller is hiding his views in the Second Amendment, and that should be a great big concern to all of you. If you see Lorissa Sweet on the campaign trail, tell her thanks. Thank you for fighting so hard in your first 2 years in the House. If you see Rob Miller, I'd ask him, what are you hiding? Why won't you tell gun owners where you stand by signing the IFC candidate survey? Why won't you come clean on what you intend to do if elected to the Indiana House? Guys, if you like this video, share it online to every gun voter you know. And as always, go to our Facebook page or YouTube channel to find more race breakdowns in other parts of the state. Thank you very much.